What is up, everybody? Back with another top 10 here today. And as you can see, I'm joined by some really cool guys here. I got Nick Franco from Sea of Tranquility and Cryptic Rock, and Mr. Quest for Metal from England, way over there across the pond. What's up, guys? Thanks for coming on.
What's up?
Good to get the trifecta together.
Yes, sir. Finally. And hell yeah. So we got top 10 albums of 2010. Tough topic to put together because there's a lot of good albums as usual. So we're just going to jump into it, go around in a circle here. I guess we'll start with Nick, then Questy, then me. Just go around in circles till we get to number one.
Awesome.
Sweet.
So my number 10 is maybe a little unexpected for those who are always expecting me to go jump right into extreme black and death metal. But I'm going with progressive band Anathema. We're here because we're here. I got this cool special version. This band is very special to me, Anathema. Vincent Cavanaugh's vocals, beautiful. And this album, I think, may be the pinnacle of their career. That's another conversation for another video. But We're Here Because We're Here is a beautiful album. Particularly the song Dreaming Light came to me. This was the year that we were expecting my child. So I associated that song with her birth, which, Dreaming Light is a very emotional song. So that was great. And there's a song on it called Everything that I used to help get past the unexpected death of a dog of mine. So thank you, Anathema, for helping me get through hard times and good times. So I got to put this got to get some love. It's a really good album. Very songs like Universal and Angels Walk Among Us. Fantastic album, Anathema. We're here because we're here. Number 10.
That's a great pick.
Thank you.
It's between that and Weather Systems for me.
Another great one.
Both amazing. They're from where I was born as well.
Oh, cool.
Questy fact.
Nice.
I don't have the accent though. Not from Liverpool. I don't have that fucking accent. Guess it's me.
Yeah, it's you're up.
My album is by Imperium Decadence and it's Procella Vadens. I
love them.
I love this German atmospheric black metal band, kind of melancholic, similar to, say, like, I don't know, like an Insomnium, but instead of melodeath, you've got the melodic black metal. And it's just so hauntingly beautiful. There's long songs on it. I think, what is it? It's a 10-minute long song. What's it called? Million Moons, is it? Such a great song. It's probably my favorite song they've done, and that's on this album. So quite long songs, beautifully depressive kind of music that they create. So again, if you like stuff like Insomnium, Swallow the Sun, I'm trying to think of like a black metal band which I can compare it to. I guess anything like DSBM kind of music, but less raw, more kind of on the beautiful side of things. Maybe like an Agalloch or something of that nature. So if you like anything like that, then give Imperium Decadence a listen because they're underrated as hell. No one mentions them. So yeah, give Imperium Decadence a fucking listen. Procella Vadens, amazing album.
Nice. Never even heard of them, but
it's on my what do you call it? Honorables.
Yeah.
I'll have to check them out. But cool. So my number 10 is going to be Bad DNA by Marty Friedman, his solo album from that year. I'm a big fan of Marty. Obviously, he's my favorite metal guitarist of all time. Love his tone. On this album, it's kind of interesting because I was talking to Quest before we started, and I told him there's going to be an album on here that has like drum programming that makes it sound like techno, like rave music a little bit. It's kind of funny to listen to, but all that classic Marty shred is mixed in there as well. It's heavy at times and just great. It's completely instrumental, no singing at all. And I think it's impressive to have an album that, it hooks you even though there's no singing. I think that's impressive to do. Great melodies, great riffs, great solos, and some favorite songs on it, I would say, are Specimen, the title track, Weapons of the Ecstasy, and Hate Jokes. So if you like good classic shred, I'd go check it out. So that's my number 10, Bad DNA by Marty Friedman.
Good pick.
Cool. So for number 9, I'm getting right back to the usual Nick Franco lane. And we're going over to Finland for Stargeist for Let the Devil In. The beautiful, beautiful, dark, filthy black metal of Shoutrag and Half Torag, the two guys in it. And Let the Devil In is just an absolute killer. They know how to mix up the pacing. At its heart, it's a heavy metal album with a lot of rockin' parts, but it's got that evil, sick atmosphere and tortured vocals. So got to give some love to Sargeist for Let the Devil In.
Oh, yes.
Cool.
More black metal. Hell yeah. Back to me for some semi-black metal. A lot of people will call it poser black metal. I just call it great goddamn music. And I'm pretty sure Bryce is going to have this on his list. It is Darkly Venus Aversa by Cradle of Filth. I love these guys. They got me into black metal as a whole. And I think this is probably my favorite of the newer era of Cradle of Filth. I think it's really underrated. Songs like The Cult of Venus Aversa, quite long, about 6 minutes long. And what's the longest one? Beyond 11th Hour, which is probably one of my favorite Cradle songs. What's that, like 7 minutes, 8 minutes long? I goddamn adore that song, how proggy it is. Same with Cult of Venus Versa. Then you got the catchy songs like Lilith Immaculate, Forgive Me Father I Have Sinned. A lot of great songs on this album. It gets overlooked as well. Loads of people talk about the new renaissance with what's the new one called? There's Hammer of the Witches, and then there's Cryptorania. But they never mention Darkly, and I think that's probably my fucking favorite. So yeah, love this album, love Cradle, fuck the haters.
Yeah, well said. Cradle rules. Nice. So my number 9 is going to be the Underworld Regime by Avhel. It's a little super group that was going around that time. It's got Shagrith from Dimmu Borgir on vocals, King Avhel on bass, and then the other musicians on it were Icedale from Enslaved and Frost from 1349 on the drums. So the drums are absolutely just pounding, like amazing, super heavy. Yeah, it was just, they only had one album there in 2010. Really good stuff. I've seen some people say they don't like it for some reason, but I think it's just really good, evil sounding stuff, classic black metal feel, Devil's Harlot, postmodern sadist, ghosting, some of the best songs on it. So definitely recommend to go check it out if you haven't heard it. The Underworld Regime.
But what's the name of the group?
Avhel. Like King Avhel, OV, Hell.
Oh, OV, yeah. I never gave that a listen. I love most of those guys. It's good. Wow. Huh. All right. I'm going where I feel is probably in the more obscure realm right now. And I thought I brought the album out, but shit. All right. You'll play it anyway. You'll show it. The band is Khors, not like the beer. It's Khors, Khors.
And I know them. Yeah.
You know them, right? Yeah, they are a Ukrainian atmospheric black metal band, and the album in question here is called "Return to Abandoned." I love when the words aren't conjugated right. I love that. It just, to me, that adds to the atmosphere of black metal. This is their 4th album, and it is not too far removed from what you're saying with Imperium Decadence. It's like they're a little more folky. They have some flute-like instruments in the very background, pervading the melodies, but just a really, really, these guys know how to write a song. Awesome guitar solos. I highly recommend anybody who likes any sort of atmospheric black metal with a melody. Khors is a beautiful, beautiful example of that. And yeah, Return to Abandoned, it's called.
Yeah, they are cool. I had their 2020 album, Where the World Acquires Eternity, on that top 20 or top 10 black metal albums of 2020. Yeah, it was really good.
I have the wooden box version of that. The
awesome.
Limited one. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll tell you what that costs.
Jeez.
All right, back to me.
Yep.
Okay, my next one is Burzum with Belus. This is like a return to form for Burzum, because before this, I think he was in prison, and he released 2 kind of ambient kind of albums while he was in prison. This is after the Philosophem and the best 4 albums. But then after the prison stint, they came out with this, and oh boy, bloody fantastic, screaming vocals again, just like the good old days. Fuzzy guitar like usual, the harsh singing, Belus Dode. I don't know how to actually pronounce it because I'm not Norwegian, but that song has just got such a fucking catchy melody, and you could put this album in with those first 4. It's that fucking good. It's just like the classic Burzum that we know and love. Well, some people don't, but fuck them. So it's good, just like the first 4 albums. I love it. I think it's just as good. So, I'm going to give some love to Burzum. I'm giving some love to Belus. Amazing album.
Cool. Yeah, I saw that one coming for you, for sure. But nice. So my number 8 I'm going to go with 7 Sinners by Halloween. I think this one could maybe be on y'all's list. I don't know, but really good stuff here. I really like Andy Darris's voice. Looking at some of these songs, they got the shit like in cursive on the back, can barely read it, but Long Live the King, really heavy, awesome one. Are You Metal? Really love that like keyboard intro there, really cool and catchy, but just good stuff. Halloween, everybody knows what they sound like, but this one I like. It's one of my favorite like more modern era albums from them. Could probably make my top 5 of theirs like of all time, but yeah, Seven Sinners, Halloween, my number 8.
Such a heavy album as well, because I've been
Yeah.
binging them recently, and that's such a heavy album.
Yeah.
It was torturous for me because that should be on my list. I love it too, and it is like their heaviest album they've done, maybe to that point, besides maybe Jericho. Raise the Noise on that album is
That's another good one.
Yeah, I listed it as my it was definitely my top 3 Halloween songs. It's just there's something about that song that I can't listen to it less than volume 1,000. It's just such an anthem. So great pick. Who is Mr. Madman is good too. So my number 7, going back to England, Killing Joke. I don't know if you guys are into Killing Joke at all. They are
I know them, but I'm not.
super influential band. As you know, everybody referenced them coming up they've been around since like the 70s. And Absolute Descent is like sort of industrial, sort of punk, but heavy. And they've got some ballads in there. European Superstate is a very smooth, like sort of new wave sounding song, but they have like real heavy ones like Depth Charge. There's a wonderful tribute song called The Raven King to a deceased band member that's real, like a ballad. And then anthems like In Excelsis. These guys are special. Jazz Coleman leads orchestras on the side, and he does this really unique. It's hard to categorize Killing Joke, and they really phenomenal album. It's called Absolute Descent, Dissent. Check it out. It's awesome. Number 7.
Sweet. I know of them, but I've not like dived deep into the catalog. The songs that I have heard, I haven't been the biggest fan of, I'll admit, but I haven't actually listened to an album in full. So maybe I'll give that album a listen and see if it grabs me.
Their later stuff got more metallic, so maybe you like that one.
Might like that more. All right, my next one, I think we're all gonna have, maybe. It is Ominous Doctrines of a Perpetual Mystical Macrocosm by Inquisition. Fuck yes. This is on the more cosmic side of the Inquisition scale, because they're a bit more thrashy at the start, and they went in a bit more astral and cosmic as the time went on. And this is one of the starter albums of that, but there's still quite a few thrashy songs on there as well.
It's a nice
It's not
blend.
fully, it's a good blend of the two. It's in that perfect kind of midpoint, which is why it's probably my favorite Inquisition album, because it does both amazingly well. And what's the song called? Astral Path to Supreme Majesties. I hate all the long song titles are so stupid, but that song, the melody in it, it's just gonna be stuck in your head. I'll say the name of it. It's gonna be stuck in your head right now. So this album, for all you black metal fans, you probably already know it, but yeah, go give it a listen again, because it deserves your undivided attention. I'm not going to say the name again, but it's Inquisition. Go fucking listen to it.
Oh, yeah, great album. You'll be seeing that from me. I'll just give it away now.
Pretty
But
sure.
yeah, everybody knows. Anyone that's seen my videos knows that's got to be on for me. But awesome. So another one that is a band that I pick a lot with these. I'm going to go with the Annihilator self-titled album. Awesome stuff here. This is one of the most angry sounding Annihilator albums. I love the album cover too. It's just this demon looking girl with her eyes flipped back, and she's got Annihilator carved into her head. It's super brutal looking stuff, heavy riffs, just scorching guitar from Jeff Waters as usual. The only slightly downside is Dave Padden's voice. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. The guy that was singing for about 10 years there in the mid 2000s up through the early 2010s. But some of the best songs on it, I'd go with The Trend, Open It Up. Just amazing, beautiful guitar melody to start, and then just breaks into a scorching solo from Jeff. Some other ones, Ambush, The Other Side, Payback, and there's a really cool cover of Romeo Delight by Van Halen. So you got Jeff Waters covering Van Halen, which is awesome. But really good album, Annihilator, number 7.
Nice. So for my number 6, I'm going over to Sweden, to a little known band that I discovered some years back called Damgard. And this is their first album, came out in 2010. I'm going to give it a shot. I Niflhels Skigd. bless me. But came out on something called I don't know, Niffle Hell. There you go. Came out on something called Froth Called Records, and the skinny on these guys is that they're really good and they write music really well, and if they put their minds to it, their albums are all super high quality. It's like based upon, I'd say, like, the black metal that you know and love. Again, you find yourself headbanging through it. It's not exactly all blasting. Really well done. These guys spent a lot of time in jail. And I read one interview with them, and they were like, yeah, we're bad. They're like, we're pretty much badasses in Sweden. It was funny. They were like doing all the crimes that the Norwegian guys got all that notoriety for, but like nobody knows that they did all those crimes. They burned shit, they've fighting, assault, you name it. They've done it all. So they're kind of like I don't know how reliable they are or how many people will book them for anything because they're criminals. But whatever, the music's really good. So if you like black metal, check out Domgard. Excellent stuff.
Oh, never heard of them, so I'll definitely check them out now.
Maybe they put that all behind them by now. I don't know, but maybe they have kids now. But really, really good. You guys would dig it a lot.
Good, cool. Speaking of black metal, I mean, most of my list has been black metal so far. Enslaved. Axioma, Ethica, Odini. I don't know if that's how you actually say it, but this is the more progressive side of Enslaved. But this album specifically sounds a lot like Opeth, which is my favorite band of all time. I don't know if they were touring at the time of this together, but there's so many melodies that just remind me of Ghost Reveries by Opeth. So many different passages. It's progressive black metal. Yeah, the screams are crazy. There's riffs on this. Like, there's really catchy riffs on some of these songs as well. It's not just atmospheric kind of black like the first couple of albums, which are amazing, but it's a different kind of side to Enslaved. And Enslaved doesn't really have any bad albums, but I'd put this one along the top echelon of Enslaved albums, in my opinion. It's probably one of the heaviest, most catchy, and just the most progressive, kind of like my favorite band. So fuck it, Axioma, Ethica, Odini. I always have to look at it because I can never remember that title. But that's one of my favorite Enslaved albums, one of my favorite albums of all time. So I got to give it some love. Enslaved, they can do no fucking wrong.
Nick agrees with that for sure. Yeah. Awesome. All right, so my number 6, I'm going to go with a new wave of traditional heavy metal band called White Wizard, their debut full-length Over the Top. So I did just do a recent video, my top 10 modern bands, and they were pretty high up on that. Just really great stuff. They kind of are one of, if not the first band, like to start up that whole new wave of traditional heavy metal movement. A lot of, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden influence on this. So if you like those classic bands, you'll like this. Really good vocals from a guy named Wyatt Anderson, nicknamed Screaming Demon. So think high pitched, like soaring vocals. And it's really interesting, too, because the band lost 3/4 of the lineup before this came out because they had 3 of the guys left to go form the band Holy Grail, which I like a lot as well. But bass player John Leon just put together a whole new band and was able to put out a really good album here with the debut. And some of the best songs, I go with the title track, 40 Deuces, High Roller, Live Free or Die. So definitely go give this a listen if you like classic Iron Maiden. Over the Top by White Wizard.
Hell yeah.
I gotta get into them.
Oh yeah, you'll like them. You should like them.
Yeah. I've never heard of them, but that description has me ready to go listen.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
They're great.
So number 5, I'm going with an American band called, as you guys probably know, Agalloch. Marrow of the Spirit.
Yeah.
This is just, and I don't really consider them black metal. I guess that's another conversation, but just an extreme metal album with progressive flair and some blackened edges that is just magnificently done. Holy shit. These guys can write a 10, 12-minute song. And it's like a harrowing nightmare movie dreamscape. And I love it. And, you got Into the Painted Gray, Black Lake Midstang, Ghosts of the Midwinter Fires. For a good while there, Agalloch could do no wrong. And this is one of their better albums. So Marrow of the Spirit, check it out.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Maybe we'll see that on my list soon. So my next one is completely left field compared to what I've been talking about recently. It is some power metal, and we're going with Rhapsody of Fire with Frozen Tears of Angels.
Nice.
This is underrated as fuck in the discography. Like, it's got, first of all, it's got Christopher Lee narrating, which he's done before, but it's fucking Saruman. You got to give him some fucking credit. He's on this, and every song is produced so well. The choruses and the singing by Fabio, so operatic, so epic is probably the word to describe it. You got the classic, like, long songs, like the title track, which are about 11 minutes long. But you then got really catchy, kind of heavy songs on this. It's probably one of the heaviest albums they've done. Reign of Terror, especially, where it kind of builds and builds on the intro with this kind of chanting chorus. They sing in Italian. I don't know the words, but it's like da 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 da, and it blasts with a solo straight away, and you're just like, what am I fucking listening to? Fucking solos out the ass. There's a random like classical song. Christopher Lee says some words to the intro. I don't know what he says. Then it goes into like this folky classical kind of jig song for like 6 minutes, and I'm just like, this is the best. I don't know what's happening, but it's the best. And it's one of those albums that puts a smile on your face. It's cheesy, sure, fuck it. It's great singing. Solos are amazing. The production is amazing. And I love it. So I'm putting it higher than most of the other albums on this list because it's something about it. It just makes me smile. And that's what you want when you're listening to music. So, yeah, Frozen Tears of Angels. It's good. It's fucking good.
Nice. Great description. That was deep. Yeah.
My people.
Very good. Yeah. Awesome. So my number 5 is going to be Diamonds by Enforcer. Another band that I've talked a lot about here on the channel. Love them. They were my number 2 Swedish band, my number 2 of that more modern bands list. And with this one, they're kind of like, they're in the new wave of traditional heavy metal as well, but instead of just like straight Iron Maiden influence, they mix in stuff from like Exciter and Motorhead. So a bit more of like a classic speed metal mixed with that just classic new wave of British heavy metal type stuff. Great vocals from Olaf Wickstrand. It's really cool material here. Midnight Vice, Katana is a really good one with great melody. Take Me to Hell is an amazing chorus, really catchy, good stuff. And the title tracks, great instrumental. But yeah, really good album. Diamonds, Enforcer. It's my number 5.
Sweet.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
So we are in the top 5 now. It's number 4. I have a feeling we're all going to be talking about this, so I'm just going to get it out there. Inquisition, Ominous Doctrines. I'm just going to cut it off there. Ominous Doctrines. What hasn't been said? It's as a latter-day black metal band, you'll have a hard time finding a band that just gets it right. They just reach into the unholy crevice of Satan and pull it out there. Beautiful. That sounded dirty. Unholy crevice. Yeah. You know what I mean. Anyway, and you said it. Astral Path of Supreme Majesty is one of my favorite songs by them. It opens the album in such a fantastic manner. The open chords with the blasting in the background, they do that. They meld that so well. So, I love
Machine Gun Blast by freaking Incubus, dude.
Fucking
beast.
Yeah. Number 4.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I remember that melody now. It's like ding 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 ding. While it's going crazy in the background. It's like, what?
Ding, fries are done. Ding, fries are done.
Yeah. I love that song so much. I'm pretty sure Brace is going to have that soon.
Nice.
But where it's going to be placed, that's the question.
See.
So my next one, we're going with Death Spell Omega. Paracletus. I didn't know what to think of this album when I first heard it. It's very abrasive, very in your face, and just technical and dissonant and all these buzzwords that people like to use in reviews. But it's great fucking music. The riffs are there. It's got this evil atmosphere throughout it. It's probably my favorite Death Spell album, I think. It's very just evil. It's from the album cover, like this kind of Medusa head in like flames. I don't know what's going on it, but you know you're in for an evil time. And oh boy, does it deliver. The song Abscission, can't remember if that's what it's called, has the greatest melody in. And I think that's the song that hooked me into the album. Because at first, with these kind of dissonant albums and bands like Gorguts, Ad Nauseam, bands like that, it's really hard to get into straight away. Imperial Triumph is another one. But you need to listen to it loads and loads, and then it gets ingrained in your head. And this is an album like that. But once you get it ingrained in your head, you'll love it, and nothing can compete. It's one of those kind of albums. And Paracletus, it's a masterpiece, but you need to give it some time. give it some time. It's like a woman. You don't want to just jump into it straight away. Just fucking please her a little bit first and then jump in. You know
Take
what I'm
it out
saying?
for dinner.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice,
Defo
nice.
Omega, like a woman, taking a woman out for a date.
That's the best description ever.
Very nice. Cool. So number 4, I'm gonna go with Exhibit B, The Human Condition by Exodus. So this one was their last with Rob Dukes on vocals, and I do actually like the albums he's on a lot. My favorite Exodus album, Shovelheaded Kill Machine. Just love like the brutality and just heaviness that was. I mean, they're always heavy, but these just seem like angry with him on vocals. Great guitar work as usual from Gary Holt and Lee Altus. Just great riffs, great solos. Tom Hunting on the drums is a freaking machine. One of the best drummers in metal. Favorite tracks on here, I'd go with Class Dismissed, A Hate Primer, The Ballad of Leonard and Charles, Beyond the Pale, and probably Downfall. But top to bottom, it's a really strong album. Exhibit B, Exodus, number 4.
Awesome. Yeah, they deserve a lot of credit for maintaining the brutality throughout the years.
Yeah.
So in the top 3, okay, so I'm going with a one-off. This is a band that called itself Blood Revolt, and the album is Indoctrine. And it is a collaboration between Alan Averill from Primordial vocals. As we all know, he is one of my absolute favorite vocalists of all time. The man could sing me the ingredients to cupcakes, and I would find it epic and enthralling. This album is not about cupcakes. It's like very, very apocalyptic. And the music is composed by Chris Ross and Jay Reed from the band Revenge, which is a super heavy. So it's like Alan's more epic, cleaner vocals with a really heavy backdrop of like apocalyptic death metal. I don't even know if you'd call it traditionally death metal. Very, very raw and very, very sharp guitar playing, a production that's really razor sharp. And it almost has a punk feel at times. And then it has some sort of avant-garde feel to it. So it was only a one-off, but Blood Revolt is so good. It has to make my top 3 here. So definitely something to check out. I think you guys would probably love it.
Cool. I like Revenge and I like Primordial, so I should like it. I've never heard it though, so I'll go check it out.
Cool.
My next one has already been mentioned, Marrow of the Spirit by Agalloch. Exactly what Nick said. It's beautifully folky. The songs are long. I think there's only about 4 or 5 songs on the entire album. A lot of them are about 10 minutes long. To Drown's a great song as well, which ends it off very kind of moody to end off the album. But Black Lake Nid Stang is probably my favorite Agalloch song of all time. That's such a masterpiece. And the middle melody, it's so good. Cold, atmospheric, great. There's even violins and running water to get you into the mood for the album. If you like atmospheric black metal, give it a listen. Again, it's hard to call it black metal, but it's got the same kind of screaming, so fuck it. It's atmospheric black. It's good, though. It's good.
So awesome.
Nice. I haven't listened to them much. I need to try to get into them. So
Yes, you do.
yeah, I do. Cool. So with number 3, I'm going to go with one that Quest already mentioned here. I'm going to go with Darkly, Darkly, Venus Aversa by Cradle. Everything you said. I mean, Cradle, I don't get the hate. They don't deserve the hate. Their music's always heavy. Like, yeah, they were more black metal at the beginning. It's not like they went soft or anything. I don't understand the hate. It's always heavy. Great musicianship, no matter who he has in the band. Of course, Danny Filth, the mainstay. Good, unique voice. A lot of different guys in the band throughout the years, girls too. But on this one, Marthas, the guy who's doing the drumming since like 2006, amazing drummer. Dude's a machine back there. Paul Allender was still in the band at this point on guitar. Really like his playing. But looking at some of these songs, as you said, Lilith Immaculate, I like a lot. Forgive Me, Father, I Have Sinned. Really, I could list all of them, and I do like the fact that it's a concept album about the demon Lilith or whatever, and I'm a fan of the show Supernatural, and they had like a whole season trying to like kill that demon, so I'm like, oh, Supernatural, Lilith, whatever, but it's cool. It's my number 3, Cradle, Darkly, Darkly.
Cradle.
Yeah, Cradle takes so much shit. I mean, I remember when that was going on. Like, I remember the line that was drawn in the sand when it came to black metal between your Osmos bands, your Immortals and Marduks, and then your bands like Cradle and Demu, who were going with that symphonic,
Yeah.
vampiric goth type thing. And I think Cradle really gets shit for being popular. They
Yeah.
just they made the mistake of being successful, and I'm with you. I think they were like black metal Iron Maiden. Like they had
So
that.
musicianship so good.
Yeah,
Like,
the guitar playing in that band has never been bad. It's always
yeah.
good. I mean, some albums that I'm not into, were a little more commercial sounding, but man, they really pulled it back in. And Danny Filth kind of, whatever you think about him, he was there in the beginning. I mean, Principal Evil Made Flesh is an absolute fucking storm
Yeah.
on the whole front of black metal. So, I'll defend them as well. But anyway, maybe that's a topic for another show. But where are we? My number 2, coming back to the States, a band called Dawnbringer. Fantastic album cover. It's called Nucleus. This is the work essentially of I mean, it's a band, but it's a cool CD. Chris Black, who was a journalist, a multi-instrumentalist, a guy in a lot of bands, wears a lot of hats. Chris used to write for Metal Maniacs, I think, under a different pseudonym. So Nucleus is traditional metal of the best variety. Bryce, I know you'd be all over this. Anthems, fist in the air, clean vocals, amazing guitar melodies and leads. This album gets no love. I don't think they're even around anymore. I saw them once. This absolute masterpiece has to be my number 2. Nucleus by Dawnbringer. You Know Me, The Devil, Like an Earthquake, then a slow one like Old Wizard. There's nothing that you will not like on this. I know you guys will love it. Check it out. Dawnbringer.
Hell yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, my number 2. I'm wearing it. Hooded Menace.
Nice.
We're going with Never Cross the Dead. Probably my favorite Hooded Menace album. It's not quite as, the songs aren't quite as long as some of their later albums, but it's just the catchiest album. All the songs on this album, like Terror Castle. Oh, it's so good. The vocals are the best in the game. Slimy, grimy, murky, whatever you want to call it. It's like there's just so much phlegm in his voice when he sings anything. It's like a slow lumbering corpse that's like trying to grab after you, like The Walking Dead or something. House of the Hammer, I think, is another great song from the album. The riffs are just so infectious, catchy, stuck in your head every time you listen to a single song. I love it. It's got that kind of horror theme, horror atmosphere. I love horror movies. So this is exactly like the kind of shit for me. I mean, it's like a zombie's after a girl and she's screaming. It's great. All these songs are great, and there's a new Hooded Menace album out this year. I've already pre-ordered it. I've already pre-ordered the shirt and everything because I know it's gonna be good. They don't make a bad album, so got to give some Death Doom love. So Never Cross the Dead by Hooded Menace. It's fucking grim.
Nice. Cool. So I'm really torn on what I want to put at number 1. Y'all know between which one there, but I'm gonna go with Ominous Doctrines at number 2 by Inquisition. As y'all said, just it's Inquisition. We all love them. Great black metal. As y'all said, they mix that just pummeling thrashiness with that nice, like atmospheric, spacey, melodic type stuff as well. Dagon, just really good, unique voice. His riffs, his tone, his just guitar playing is amazing. And I love Incubus on the drums as well. Machine Gun Blast, he's a machine back there. But Astral Paths, great song. Command of the Dark Crown, really love that one. Desolate Funeral Chant, Cosmic Invocation Rites. Upon the Fire Winged Demon title track. Every song is just amazing. Great album. Number 2, Ominous Doctrines. And it could switch depending on the day. It could be number 1, but yeah. I'm going to go with something else today.
Awesome. So my number 1. Have you heard of the Meads of Asphodel? They're English. Come on, Questy.
Oh, no. Meads of Asphodel.
The Meads of Asphodel. They are an avant-garde. They describe themselves as English punk black metal.
That's probably why I haven't heard them.
They're all over the place musically. And the album is curiously titled, without context it could sound strange, but the album is called The Murder of Jesus the Jew. And the reason they went with that is because Metatron is the main guy in the band. And he writes from the perspective of what was actually going on during biblical times, the attitudes and zeitgeist and basically the history and then the machinations going on around the biblical times. He focuses, the absurdity of these religions and what's actually written in these doctrines, and he presents it as like how mad it was, like the feelings of hatred and aggression and stuff around the biblical characters. So it's very, very, songs like "Addicted to God," "My Psychotic Sand Deity," "Genesis of Death," "From Evil to Cross." The last song on the album, I'm going to tell you what the title is. A canticle for the lost amputees of Aeolia Capitolima, who have been trampled under the iron-shod hooves of salivating hell rams and impaled on the shimmering tusks of salvation within the abandoned tabernacle of a Bronze Age myth.
You sure that's not a Nile title?
Dude, making Inquisition look like nothing over here.
Yeah, an Inquisition. Yeah,
the rest of the titles are. I mean, this guy will put a 75-page treatise together with each album. He does a lot of research. He's a genius, and it's very underground. The music, English punk black metal begins to describe it, but they will have arrangements in their songs that make it sound like you're listening to a show tune, and the lyrics are, like really, really dark and murderous, and like children being killed and blah blah blah. But it's all from the perspective of the Bible. It's mad. It's zany. I can't say enough good things about it. Their entire discography is amazing, and nobody's heard of them. And their bass player on this was Alan Davey, who was in Hawkwind. So these guys are legitimate, musicians. And definitely a strange album. It's definitely my number one. The Murder of Jesus the Jew by Meads of Asphodel. Here they are dressed up in armor, because why not? Brilliant, 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 zany madcap stuff, but it makes sense, and the compositions are catchy. And you never know what they're going to do. They'll throw in a dance beat and then come out with a just killer riff, and then it goes off into black metal, but they make it work. Check it out.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. That's
all right. You said black metal punk, and I was kind of like, maybe I won't like it. And then the way you described it then, I was like, okay, I'll probably like it if it's like all these different like dance beats and like all this crazy shit, or that sounds cool.
In. Yeah, and they have almost a Monty Python-esque type of approach of humor too at times. So yeah, I
Dickus. Yeah, I'll love it then. Okay, my number one. My assistant has been showing it the whole time. It's Alcest with Akela de Lune. Okay. I love Nige's vocals. I just did a video on my channel and Alcest was number one. I didn't really want to put it number one again the second time in a row. I don't care. It's amazing. It's the album that got me into Alcest as a whole. It's one of the albums that got me into black metal as a whole, alongside Philosophem by Burzum. It was Philosophem, this, and The Mantle. Those are the three albums that got me into black metal. And Alcest is my favorite out of the three. Like, when I did my top black metal bands, Burzum's top, but I didn't count this and Agalok because, again, they're kind of black/prog black gaze. It's hard to kind of put them directly into the black metal category. But if we're talking my favorite bands of all time, Alcest is probably my number two, just behind, probably my number three behind Ahab and Opeth. So I love them. I love them so much. All the melodies is beautiful. The singing is beautiful. The melodies are just serene. His vocals are the best in the game. He's great on Peste Noir as well, but I love them in Alcest as well. It's like solo songs, so uplifting. The two, part one and part two, the title track, amazing work. It's just one of the most beautiful albums I've ever heard. So yeah, I've got to put Alcest number one. It's a kind of predictable pick for me, but I don't care. It's great. So Akela de Lune, it's awesome.
Cool. So with my number one, I'm gonna go with the Final Frontier. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm gonna go with Holy Grail. Got Holy Grail, Crisis in Utopia. Y'all like, what the hell? No. So
like
this is it's not bad. It'll be in my honorable mentions. I don't think it deserves as much hate as it gets.
No, it doesn't. No, but
it's
number
not.
One.
No. But okay, so this album, I mentioned how 3/4 of the original White Wizard lineup broke away. they went off and formed this band. And the reason they left White Wizard is because they didn't want to do just straight like Iron Maiden influence stuff. They wanted to incorporate some. The guy that's the singer, James Paul Luna, he said like Megadeth and Cacophony type stuff. So they mixed in like fast thrash shred with the Judas Priest and Iron Maiden type stuff. So all that stuff blended together. Great guitar playing from James LaRue on this. The drummer, Tyler Meal, also came over from White Wizard. But the vocals on here are the standout. The dude is one of the best singers you'll find in metal. Just amazing voice. Some of these songs, My Last Attack, Fight to Kill, Call of Valhalla, Chase the Wind is really great, Hallowed Ground. And I heard them for the first time in 2016. They were opening for Marty Friedman. That's one of the best concerts I've ever seen. Never knew of this band before that. They just come out and killed it. Had to buy the CD. You know, a band's good when you never heard of them beforehand. They play, and then you buy the CD before you leave. So, yeah, had to go with Holy Grail. Show them some more love. They were pretty high up on my more modern band list I did recently, but awesome stuff here. Crisis in Utopia, Holy Grail, my number 1 of 2010.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll go around. Nick, you got some honorable mentions, and then you, Quest.
Yeah, of course. I'm unprepared. What the hell did I do with my phone? Oh man! Oh, here it is. I have them all on my phone because I have a lot, and you're gonna have to hear them because that's the way it is. Cruel Force: The Rise of Satanic Might. They're on hold, but that's a great black thrash. Got to go over to 1349 Demon War. And then Negura Bungit from Romania with Verstelli Paniculi. Yeah, right? Fucking really good. Ascension, German black metal. The Crown from Sweden. Winter Filleth from England. Yep. Solefald, Norrens Livkunst. That's a strange band from Norway that is should not be missed by people who like prog and sort of black metal. And I would say Sodom. That was a good album. The War and Pieces. That was really good. And Heidevolk, the Dutch folk metal band, and I can't even say the album cover, the album title, Wit Ude Grand, whatever. It's really good. There you go.
All right, some of my honorable mentions. Abigail Williams, In the Absence of Light. Isn't my favorite one by the band, but it's still pretty fantastic. Dark Fortress, Yulem. Mm-hmm. That was a great fucking album. One which almost made my number 10, and I was flip-flopping between that and Imperium Decadence the entire time.
They were originally that was originally on my list too, and I took it off alone.
Yeah. It's a great album. Another one, Ghost, Epos. Is it Epos and Eponymous? I can't remember how you say it. Opus Eponymous, that's it. They get a lot of shit. I don't care. They're great. I love him. Scooby-Doo, singing, chanty. It's awesome. I've seen him so many times live. He puts on a show. He's a good singer. Fuck it. Kilvela Tech, the self-titled, probably the best Kilvela Tech album. And Watain, Lawless Darkness. Those are my honorable mentions.
Quest, have you heard the guy from Kveler Tech's other? I think it's just Devil in Norwegian. It's Djevel, Shevel.
Yes, I have. Yeah, it's great. It's better. It's better.
God,
it's better.
Yeah. So good.
Nice. So is that all your honorable mentions there, Quest?
Yeah, that's all mine. Yeah.
Cool. So a couple you mentioned, Watain, Dark Fortress, Ironbound by Overkill is really good, very close to making it. There's another band that's super consistent. King of Pain by Loudness. Love Akira Takasaki. He's one of my favorite guitar players. That one was super close to making it as well. The Cold by Flotsam and Jetsam. Like a lot of their more recent stuff. Their brand new album from a couple weeks ago was amazing. Just really good stuff. Ken Mary kills it on the drums for them last couple albums. Did I say Motorhead yet? No. Got Motorhead, The World Is Yours. I was joking around about this album before. I don't think it's as bad as some people act like it is. I know Chris Allo over there just shits on this album really hard on the Hudson Valley Squares, but I think it's okay. 1349, as Nick said, Infestation by Rat. Really good comeback for them. Relentless Retribution by Death Angel and Fever by Bullet for My Valentine. I think that's a pretty good album there. They got a couple good albums, but that is everything I wanted to get through. And thanks again, guys, for coming on. This was great.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This was awesome.
Of course. And everybody watching, let us know what you thought of our picks. Give us your top 10 in the comments. Until next time, thank you for watching.